I think I've only mentioned Texas one time since I've been in here. I'm just a little bit remiss because I want to share with you one of the reasons. It's something that I haven't heard here actually spoken about with enough passion to suit me. Let me say that. I happen to think the biggest issue that is facing this country is that we are in economic turmoil. And if we don't have a President of the United States that gets America working again, we are in trouble. And we need to be focused on jobs in this country. We need to be focused on getting our economy working again. And I got a track record on doing that. I happen to think it is two of the most important issues of our time is jobs and debt. In the state of Texas in 2009 until currently, 40% of all the jobs created in America were created in the state of Texas. Now, and there's a reason for that. There's a reason for that. And the reason happens to be because we have put 4 simple principles into place. And Senator, I know for a fact that sometimes things are not as simple, maybe from the outside looking in. And I want to say thank you for your great service in the United States Senate. And again, you all may say thank you to this man. But the fact is, you do 4 things and your economy will flourish. 4 simple guiding principles of what we put into place into Texas over the last decade. Number 1 is don't spend all of the money. I know on its face that's kind of simple, but I mean the fact is we got to have courage to walk into Washington, D.C. and say, folks, we're not spending that amount of money. We're just not doing it. Somebody's going to say, well, what are you going to do about it? And I'm going to say, the President of the United States has a pen. And it's called a veto pen. And I will use it until the ink runs out if that's what it takes to get the message we're not spending all the money. Second principle is to have a tax system that is as low as you can have it and still deliver the essential services. Keep that low tax burden on the job creators out there. Third one is have a regulatory climate that is fair, that is predictable. Well, the only predictability we've got with the EPA today, Senator, is that we know that they're going to come with some more regulations. They're going to stop us from drilling somewhere, or they're going to stop us from... I mean, the idea... Now, you tell me whether this is true or not. But one of my fellows just told me, he said that they're talking about a new regulation that if you drive your tractor from across one public road, you're going to have a commercial driver's license. Get out of here. You're kidding me. I mean, what are they thinking? They aren't. There you go. They aren't. And the 4th principle is have a legal system that doesn't allow for oversuing. In the state of Texas, back in let me tell you, you all know what it's costing us just to show up to fight the defense cost. We passed some sweeping tort reform in 2003. My wife's a nurse. Her dad was an old country doctor for 52 years. And she understands how devastating this thing called Obamacare is going to be to the people in this country who would truly are going to be greatly impacted in a negative way because the quality of health care. They're going to lose that. We're going to lose the innovation. Young men and women aren't going to go into the field of medicine. They're going to go somewhere else. And she knows we've got to stop that. We've got to stop the frivolous lawsuits that get filed against our medical professionals. In Texas, we did that in 2003. We passed the most sweeping tort reform in the nation. And I'll tell you what the result is today in our state. We have 21,000 more physicians practicing medicine there because they know they can come to that state and do what they love, and they will not be frivolously sued. That is where we need to head this country. Those four simple solutions. You know, one of the tragedies that's going on in this country today is the number of people that are out of work. And again, it's the reason I want to talk about jobs, because it is. You cannot have a strong military. You cannot be able to tell those that would do harm to America that we are going to do what we say we are going to do if you do not have the economics first to pay for that military. Let me tell you, it is the most important issue that we're going to deal with, is be able to create an environment in this country where that the job creator understand that they can risk their capital and that they got a chance to have a return on that investment. That's what will drive the American economy skyward like a rocket. That's what this election's really all about. Are we going to take the reins of our future? Over the next 15 months, are we truly going to work together and come together? We may have issues that separate us, but bringing those diverse groups together and making sure that we have a candidate that can beat Barack Obama in November is the most important thing that we do. And it's got to be somebody that understands and knows how and has had job creation experience in their background. Now, I hope nobody took that as being angry, because I have heard people say, "No, wait a minute, you Tea Party types, y'all are angry." We're not angry. We're indignant. We're indignant at the arrogance and the audacity that this administration is showing about the values that are important to the people of America. We're indignant about a government that borrows trillions of dollars because they don't have the courage to say no. We're indignant about activist agencies like that EPA that attempt to destroy the local economies at the expense of state sovereignty. We're indignant that Iowa companies like Rockwell Collins, HNI Corporation, Heartland Express hit their 52-week low this week's stock market because of this president's failed experimentation with our economy. That's what we're indignant about. We're indignant about that Washington would take half of what you had worked for away from you in what we refer to as the death tax. We are indignant about those things. And we're indignant about a president indignant about a president who goes on an American apology tour instead of talking about American exceptionalism. That's what we're indignant about. I happen to know that those young men who lost their lives in defense of our freedom this last week, they know what Abraham Lincoln and they know what Ronald Reagan said, that America is the last best hope of mankind. And again, ladies and gentlemen, with your help, the grace of God, we will make sure that America is again the great last hope of mankind in the world. God bless you all. Thanks for letting me come.